2, 3, testing. The time is approximately 7 a.m. on the morning after Christmas 2008. Now, for this dream project, I wanted to get both approaches. The rehearsed, the scripted, written, but also the completely raw and completely free recordings made right after the dreams have occurred. And so you see, I shall record my dream now, making it a sort of Hollywood pun, I'll say. It was my nightmare after Christmas, but it really was, you see. And I'm taking the time away from my sleep schedule to record this because, you know, this is one of those nightmares that was so artistically interesting and metaphorical, perhaps telling, that I suppose I didn't mind having it. All told, it was kind of disturbing during it, but you know, as I work on recording these dreams, I'm starting to think of myself as perhaps a collector of dangerous, rare insects or something. You know, there is the danger in collecting them, but of course there is the value to science. I'm not sure what field of science this is. Oh, pyromancy or something. Alchemy of the nighttime thoughts. In this dream, I was hanging around the house, except it wasn't where I actually live. It was an old house, a big, drafty, large sort of house, somewhere in the southern United States, I suppose, which is a place I have only rarely been to. This is kind of strange. Sort of a rustic, very open house, a lot of space, a lot of rooms, familiar and yet unfamiliar. It's interesting. And I was doing what I end up doing a lot, which is preparing for a march, cutting out shapes manually, electronically, instead and such of plastic. I think it was red and orange. Anyway, as I continued work, you know, normally it was day, but then it became darker and darker, and I'm no stranger to working in the middle of the night, as you might know. And yet, all the lights in the place were going, you know. It became steadily darker and harder to work. Not only that, but along with the darkness, I kept noticing more cobwebs around all over everything, you know. It wasn't like they were appearing really, but you know, I was just progressively noticing more and more of them. A few spiders in there too, which is all other things being equal, I'd rather not have them around. If you know what I mean. Yeah, so I was working on the art tonight. It got to where there was almost no ambient light whatsoever, and I had to gather some spotlights. I found an ultraviolet light for a minute, you know, for the UV reactive color, the beautiful color. But when I finally found the light, the art was missing, and the cobwebs became more and more of a trouble. until it really became less about finishing the part at all, and just figuring out a way to clear out these cobwebs, get through this situation. And the spiders, there was a danger of being bitten or something, I didn't know what kind of spiders they were. Not too many, but just enough, Didn't know some might be Black Widow, human's natural enemy. So, worked on clearing them out. Some kind of tool I had or something. I also had a lighter or something like that, and I sort of burned some of them back, if you know what I mean. It was like the light from the flame could sort of push back the cobwebs, like it would cause them to melt and burn. But also, I guess these cobwebs are just a metaphor for confusion or nonsense or something like that. Little by little, it changed from a regular house. It became a so-called haunted house, you see. And, but when I say so-called haunted house, what I really mean was I began to get the sense that it was a carnival place. It was a carnival-style haunted house, where